a real life.
Fuck you!
You know, with responsibilities to your family, to your work, to the people who work for you.
It takes you on a ride of this man's life and his psyche and his chaos. It's kind of like non-stop and a desperation.
With Howard, you are so in the moment with the character, and I think not knowing where it's going also adds to an element of anxiety. But I do think the thrilling element makes this such a great movie-going experience. Kind of birthed from stories that our dad would tell and ones that we kind of vaguely remembered from when we were kids, and he was working in the Diamond District as a kind of a runner slash salesman.
It started off with Benny and I, we both wrote this first draft, and then Ronnie and I would just basically yell at each other and mine for, what Lynch called deep fish ideas. What's great about working with your family, and I consider Ronnie a part of our family, is that, you have this ability to talk about your own life through the lens and discourse of fiction. So you get to actually think about your character, in this case Howard, in regards to your own life and his own life. And I think that was such an important part of this process.
And Ronnie is perfectly in the middle between both of us, and it's almost like a three-headed monster. It's an amazing collaboration, which I can't even imagine not existing.
So in 2012 was like kind of the first version of the script that we felt comfortable enough to kind of start sharing, which in hindsight seems ridiculous because that script compared to draft 168 that we ended up shooting was so raw and underdeveloped, but it had the general energy of it.
The Safdies talked to my representatives a while ago, and somehow I didn't hear about it. And then I kept hearing about the Safdie brothers want to talk to you. They want to talk to you, and I was not sure who they were. And then more I heard Safdies. I watched one of their movies. Then I watched another one of their movies, and I watched it. And I was like, who the hell? These guys are incredible. And then I spoke to them on the phone. Talked. I didn't know who to call first, Josh or Benny. I got both their numbers at the same time. They were different numbers. I didn't know who to call first and whose feelings I would hurt if I called the one brother before the other. So I think I randomly picked one of them. I'm not sure who I got first.
With a turnaround.
We wanted to use real games. We wanted to use the real identity of the player on the court within the film.
But when it landed on Kevin, and we then started to look at his game pool, then you have to go back and you have to start to be like, okay, well, when does this movie take place? When are the games that we can find? It was constricted. It had to be 3 consecutive games in the Northeast. It had to be basically in New England area because of the reality of a player getting in and out of New York. So you're limiting yourself.
Well, you're headed back to the Eastern Conference Finals. How are you feeling?
Feeling great. In the end, it's about winning. This is the big shut-up,
The order of the games is important. He had to have an incredible game, and then right after that he had to have a terrible game. And then he had to have an incredible game again. And it's like, but it was funny because he didn't have a lot of bad games that year. So it was like...
And even though he was, 36, he was in the twilight of his career.
Garnett's great games had rebounds and points and just intensity. So you're literally looking at that, and then that informs the bet, and then that informs what Howard is getting excited about.
How'd you find me?
Your office told me where you are.
Following me?
Yeah, we need the money today.
Would never tell you
This
where.
is the last straw.
Get out of here.
I think one of the great gifts of this movie is, yes, we got to see this dream project that we've had for 10 years, but the proximity and the closeness that we got to Adam Sandler, because he's such a good person.
My little one is my first Halloween. I'm not home.
No.
But they're okay.
First one ever? Since they were born?
Yes, but they're okay. They're having fun.
Despite all of his success, his work ethic is like something I've never seen before. Sandler's just constantly looking for a joke, writing a joke, looking for a movie. He'll text me and say, you got to watch The Quiet Man by John Ford. And, but at the same time, we're talking about, Rich Voss, a comedian. And it's all one big conversation because it's all this energy in him that's just trying to transcend life in some weird way. But the beauty of getting to have worked with him is you can be getting deep into the text and talking about the character and the script, but then every once in a while you'll just get a video on your phone texted to you from him, and it's him trying out a new joke that he wants to do on stand-up. Come on, you're talking about 2 people who sat there and obsessed over his comedy records, and now you're getting them sent to you like in rough cut form on your phone.
It's how honest she is. She doesn't take crap from anybody. She's a really great mother. She was probably a really good wife.
How'd that go? How'd the piece look?
Not at all what we discussed. These aren't VVS. You can tell by the eye. I don't need a loop to see that.
Let me see.
I just approach her as myself, but like 3 tequilas in, what my accent usually is late at night after a couple of drinks. So that was my my method. Where's your little shiksa? I was looking forward to saying hello to her. Where is she?
She's what? I don't know.
What?
I keep tabs. She's probably doing errands.
Oh, that's funny. I heard she was sleeping in.
My 2 daughters idolize her, and my wife has friends who know her and would just say, only here, she's the greatest. Nothing better than when your wife says, that actress you're going to pretend as your wife is the best. It makes life easy.
You know what? It doesn't matter. I have to go. I'm meeting Karen
Okay.
for lunch
where?
at Fred's. Fred's.
Okay. So you tell Benny I'll put him to sleep, all right? I'll be home in time.
Background action and action.
When you're working with Safdie brothers, there's a fine line between reality and what's going on in the film. So it's easier to step in and out of character. And they have this great energy that they're working off of each other. Josh is always, watching the monitor. And then Ben's always holding the boom, which is funny, because directors don't usually hold the boom for sound, but it's just his way, and it keeps him sort of in it and right close to the actors.
We found that when we're there together, we're seeing it through 2 different heads that have a very common frequency.
Like more as a writer, I'll add lots of ideas to it, and Benny as an editor will actually know, okay, well, I only need this, 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 and this. And it's very helpful to have that discourse on set.
All right, and go for it.
We don't have playback also because we don't find it useful because it's like, let's just do it again. We're going to waste more time all sitting around killing the energy that we just got on the set watching the playback when we could just do it differently.
Open up! Open up!
What is this? Howard, we're just doing coke. Nothing happened. Nothing happened! No, please get off it!
The cut. Great. All right, one more. One more.
I became very close with the boys. I love them. They became family, and I love shooting the shit with it about everything with them. They're basketball fans like me, and we play hoop together, and they are real smart, nice kids. And but man, their vision is crazy.
Okay, rolling. Have fun, guys. Play safe. Loud music.
And background action. And action.
There was no playback, right? So I didn't get to see what they were shooting ever. But on rare occasions, they would have a playback maybe once every couple of weeks, and I'd get to see what we were shooting. I'd be like, wow, I had no idea what we were doing.
And Darius, our DP, literally, he loved lighting her.
Darius said very early on, I want to make your film. I don't want you to make my film. Of course, he took his cosmic approach to lenses. It was his concept to shoot the film in anamorphic because he thinks that the anamorphic glass does justice to the faces. And
I like to call Darius a necromancer because he really does make things that aren't alive come to life.
No, he's the only other person. Looking at him, and you could just be, just jacking up the bids.
Okay, yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Speed.
Background action and action.
Moving along now with lot number 37, this magnificent...
The thing that's, in hindsight, it's actually inducing anxiety within me, is that as a writer, we started in 2010, we wrote the persona of Amari Stoudemire, and the player is a central character to the story. Unlike other scripts where you can have your character that you wrote and then you go out and you cast that character, this was different. You had to cast the character and then write the role.
70,000 against you, sir.
100,000.
$100,000, a big...
Great cut. We're all happy we know KG now.
One of the things that concerned me coming in here is just the scripts. The scripts were very long. I had some paragraphs that I had to actually, memorize. So I was kind of worried about that. But Adam, his leadership, I just followed. In life, I don't really follow many people. And I like to think that in this, I just followed his lead, and it made it super transparent and easy to just remember the line.
Shoot in New York, we were not cheating it anywhere, so that sacrificed a certain amount of days. So we just had to shoot a lot in a 160+ page script. I think we did New York stuff in 32 days.
4 hours maybe. It's done. That's 3 pages.
Let's go. I'm ready. Let's go, Siva. I have no idea. We're ready to go.
It was just so perfect.
Let's get Sandman in.
You gonna make the call? Are you gonna make the call? I got your word. You're gonna play nice? You're gonna play nice? Yes, I'm gonna play. You make that phone call. You make that phone call, right? Okay. All right, come on, get him on. Get him on. Please, yeah. Come on.
That was great. Cut.
That's cut.
All right, let's move on.
We were on our stage for 11 days, and the stage is all the stuff inside this jewelry showroom, which is a lot of.
And we had 40 shots certain days.
Yeah, and a very intense storyboarded, shot list.
Come on, let's go.
When we get into the edit, we have an obsession with making every edit work.
That what you're watching is unspooling in front of you as it happens. What became interesting was the conversation about, okay, Ronnie, you're going to take this section. Benny, you're going to take this section.
It was actually amazing because Ronnie and I could actually then help each other out. So there were times where it's like, okay, we're really going to go through the footage together.
Different attitude, different thought. There's nothing the guy doesn't go through.
All right, I'll call you back.
The Safdie brothers, they did all the work, they did all the thinking, and I did the best I could as an actor, and I always try to do my best. And there wasn't a day that I went, oh, we're doing that good. Every day I was like, holy shit, that scene is today? It was kind of terrifying every day. And so it really was something that I would look at the guys at the end of the day and say, man, thank you for this. This is incredible that I'm getting to do this. It's great. It's great.